Hey kids, welcome back to String Cheese and Applesauce, where today we're going to build the Monster Fighters Vampire Hearse. This set was released in 2012, 314 pieces, and as you can see, I don't have the box. This set has already been built. I usually take these out around Halloween time and decorate the house with these spooky sets. So this set is pretty cool, so let's go ahead and build it and show you what's cool about it. First, we're going to look at the minifigures. Since they are already built, we'll just go ahead and zoom in and kind of check them out real quick. So this first guy we're going to look at, let me pull up their names real quick. This is Dr. Rodney Rathbone. So you can see he's pretty cool. He has the top hat. He has a vest over his shirt and tie. He's got the watch hanging out of the pocket and the print there. And then on the back, you can see, the back of the vest is printed nicely. And here's what's interesting about him is he has a metal leg. So he has lost a leg somewhere in his life and now has been replaced with this metal leg. So he's one of the monster fighters. So what you would assume is the good guy. So he has a little sword and a pistol. He has a single printed face. See nothing on the back. But the face print is pretty cool. He's got kind of the stern, kind of angryish look to him. And of course the big sideburns. Now he doesn't have, it's just the hat. So he doesn't have a hair piece or anything to go with it, but you can see with the hat on, you can see his big sideburns coming down. Curious to see how he would look with hair. Let's see. Pulling a hair piece over here. That's him 20 years ago when he had hair. But he comes with the top hat. Pretty cool. So the next one is the zombie driver. Now he's the driver of the hearse. So you can see he has ripped up clothes and of course the grayish face with the zombie print on it and some ripped up clothes on the back. So his clothes are originally the, I guess what you would call the driver's outfit. But since he is a zombie, he's more or less just still wearing them, but now turned into a brain eater. I believe this is one that the eyes glow in the dark. Can't tell. There's too much light in here now. I think his eyes glow in the dark. So the last figure is Lord Vampire. Lord Vampire is he's the passenger in the hearse. And we'll look at what he rides in here in a minute if you're not familiar with this set. But this has got a pretty cool print on his legs, his torso, and a little bit on the back. You see just printing of the vest. And he does have a double printed face. So he's got his angry face and then kind of a smug face. That's pretty cool. So you could choose, I choose the angry face. Anytime we have two faces, I usually choose the angry or the I guess more stern face of the two prints. So those are our three minifigures, and like I said, his Lord Vampire's head does glow in the dark, and I really do wish there was an easy way to show you. I don't think you could really make it out, but either way, his head glows in the dark, so that's cool. So those are the minifigures. Let's go ahead and get into the build. So I've verified I had all the pieces. I usually keep them all together, so I didn't think I didn't have all the pieces, but I went ahead and, as you know, in the back of every instruction book, it has a part inventory. I verified I had everything, so I'm pretty confident we're gonna be good to go here. So we've got our motorcycle, and this is what Dr. Rodney Rathbone is gonna primarily do his monster fighting in, is this motorcycle. And his weapon of choice, as we saw earlier, was the little sword and a pistol, but he also has a stick of dynamite, and it clips on to the back like that. And then there's these little decorative exhaust pipes that literally have flames shooting out the back, like so. So he speeds along so fast in this bike that it shoots flames out. And that's a pretty cool little feature. The problem with it is see these little flames, they just barely hold in to the back of that loud hailer. So when you barely touch it, they do fall off. You can see I just barely had to pull it off. So any type of rough play, you know, they pop off. It's a cool detail, but it makes it very hard to play with. So that is our good guy's vehicle of choice. Now we get to move on to the hearse. Now, this is of course the highlight of the set. You know, there's plenty of other sets that have good guy cars in it, so not every set has to be all about the good guys. And this one isn't. This one is about the bad guys and their vehicle of choice. Now, as far as the parts in here, there's nothing too rare or unique. The only ones that really are kind of rare are the coffin and some of the glow-in-the-dark pieces. That's really about it. I'm pulling up the part inventory now just to quickly go through it, but it's a lot of your typical black and a little bit of red, a little bit of light bluish gray, but it's significantly mostly just black. So yeah, there's really nothing rare in this set at all. Some of the minifigure accessories, like the hat, is not seen very often. It's probably just in that color, that kind of light bluish gray color. So yeah, if you want to make this set at home, you didn't get a chance to buy it 2 years ago when it was out, you could probably get pretty close with all the pieces you have. Well, assuming you have a decent collection of parts at home. And if you don't, you can look up the instructions on the Lego website and use it as inspiration for building something similar but not exactly like it. I've actually done that in the past where I've looked up other sets that have been discontinued just to see how it was built and use it as a source of inspiration for building something of my own that was very similar to it but not exactly the same thing. So all that talking, and we've pretty much got the main chassis built. See how it's coming together pretty quickly. And I like the way they use these brick arches as the fenders. You can see it's basically just a 1x6 brick with an arch in it. And that becomes your wheel well. Pretty cool little detail. A lot of times you think those arches are mostly just for buildings or some sort of architectural detail, but it doesn't always have to be the case. You look at all the pieces of this set kind of laid out on the table. You kind of, if you were trying to guess, I mean, if you didn't see the wheels there, if you were trying to guess what this set was going to make, it'd be hard to say a vehicle because there's so many bricks. But I like the way that they use all the bricks in this set. Like for example, now we're using this 2x2x2 with a slope brick as part of the backside of the hearse right there. So it kind of gives it that sloped aerodynamicness of it. We've got our steering wheel in place. And then our roof, these roof bricks, these are pretty cool. So all these bricks with the little ridge at the top. So you normally see these on buildings as well, but they're actually being used as part of the front fenders. And then you have these from the side, they look like the others, but then on the other side they have this little overhang, a little notch in them. So you can see laying those all out on the front there, how it gives it this cool little retro look to it. Alright, so now it's really coming together. It's still kind of hard to make out a hearse from this, but you can see the chassis is definitely coming around. Alright, so now we're going to build kind of the main play feature of this set right now. And it's pretty cool, I think. I think at times it's a little hard to to make it work right. It's not perfect, but for what it is, I think it works pretty well. So you can see with these silver little, I guess, bionicle claws, I think is what these are called. See, it has this hinging action. So something's gonna hinge up right here. What is it? What is it? We don't know. Well, I know. All right, so already we're putting the windshield on. So a lot of times when you do vehicles, Lego vehicles, it's kind of saved towards the end, but not this one. This isn't your typical Lego vehicle. Putting them on right now. Zoom out a little bit. It's starting to get big. Alright, so this is a pretty cool little detail, the engine. So it's a little brick-built engine that has a nice little touch to it. Okay, there's the engine block. Pretty basic now, but when we start adding the details, this is what makes it kind of cool. So we have this little hinge brick with the hinge on the top. We're going to put a clip on here, and then a gold stud with a bone attached to that clip. Just like that. And then this goes back here, like that. Now we're going to do another one on the other side. It's similar, just mirrored copy of it. Now we're going to do two more that are just like the first two, except it has two bones on it instead of one. And still, we're going to put them right here on the side. So what's happening is the bones are representing each cylinder of the engine. All right, there we go. Check that out. That's cool if you ask me. If you don't ask me, it's still cool. Okay. Silver one. And then of course every one of these Monster Fighter sets has their own unique little gem or crystal thing that each one is more or less fighting for. So this one is the red crystal with the little bat printed on it. Okay, so here is the coffin that I was telling you about earlier. So this is what Lord Vampire rides in. I was telling you he's the passenger of this vehicle. Well, this is his seat. So the coffin is pretty cool. It's all black. It's got a custom print on it. I think this is the only set that this one comes in. Let me verify that real quick. 2 sets. The other one's probably the Vampire Castle. Yep, it is the Vampire Castle. So you'll see the castle here in a few weeks. I'm going to do a build of that one as well. But this coffin is only found in 2 sets, which are both from the same Monster Fighter series from a couple years ago. So we will drop our vampire in there just like that. He also has a silver metallic sword. I like to go ahead and put that in there with him. Close the lid, and now he is going to be put in here along for the ride. Now here's what's kind of funny about this is this, you see when I push on it now, you can see that's what's making him come up. But it's telling you not to shoot your eye out. So this coffin could potentially launch from this vehicle and put your eye out. So be careful, kids. Don't put your eye out. All right. And we have a couple clips back here with some Technic bushings. And little rubbery claw things. And these little claw things are so hard for me to put in because my fingers are so big. But that's how they go. We have a little thing here. And 4 of these. So once we start getting the side windows on, it really starts to come together. You can really start to make out the shape of the hearse now. We've got 6 of these snot brackets on the side. So that means we're going to have some pieces hanging off the sides of the hearse. So we got a little sub build. We're gonna build the roof to the main hearse. I guess the main roof to the hearse. There's only one hearse here. So we've got some Technic hinges here on the sides. So we know that this thing's gonna potentially open, maybe? Have you guessed what it's gonna do yet? Taking guesses now. So you can see now when we move this, see our coffin pushes the roof open. And I guess if you have the lid off, he's just in there like that without the lid on the coffin. You can see when I push it up, he actually does shoot out. So that's how he could potentially put an eye out. But I'll put the lid on just so we don't lose it. All right. So our driver goes in here. We'll put him in now because it's hard to get him in once we get the main roof on. Or I mean the driver's roof on. Oh man, I just pushed so hard that pushed in half my model there. No big deal, it's an easy fix. It's fragile while you're still building it. No problem. We're in business. So there's these 1x6 tiles on the side that connect to these snot brackets. So that's kind of what gives it the smooth finish right there. And our little coffin came loose. Here. And then we have all these maroon colored teeth that hang down on the side. It's a nice little detail, kind of gives it like a ruffled kind of curtain look, as if there was curtains over the windows. Have the main roof there. So here's what's interesting too. This is actually a sticker. It's one of the few stickers that was in the set. I did apply the stickers to this set, mostly because I knew that I would be rebuilding this set a lot. So this sticker actually does glow in the dark. You can't see it very well. Check my Instagram page, String Cheese and Applesauce. I've taken a picture of this with it glowing in the dark, so you can see it a little bit better on there. And I usually have those pictures up way before these videos go live. Alright, so we've got, getting pretty close. We're basically going to build the wheel axles. And that should be it. Middle. Pieces flying everywhere. And a piece hit the floor. Alright, so this is it. Got a few little teeth here that go on the front. And I have an extra piece. I don't know why. I must have missed it somewhere. And the teeth back here keep coming off. Don't see where I could have missed it. Let me just thumb through here real quick. I may have just pulled out an extra one. One, two, three. Oops, I did miss one. Let's see if I can put that on there. This is going to be destructive. Nailed it. Alright, pay attention to the instructions, kids. Because I missed a piece. Shouldn't have. Alright, so there we go. There is our vampire hearse. Now how cool is that? Definitely has a steampunk kind of flair to it with the big wheels on the back, the small wheels on the front. It actually does, kind of look like a hot rod. It does have the big exhaust pipes on the side. It's got the big intake engine on the front. It's cool. The play feature, it's all right. I mean, you can see how that just kind of pops up. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's not terrible. I just like the overall look of it. You know, the all black looks cool with the red and white highlights. Things I don't like about it, these little mini teeth, these little rubbery claws. And you just barely bump them and they fall off. Similar to the flames on our motorcycle. You can see I just tried to move it over here and one already fell off. So I'm not a big fan of the flames on the motorcycle. Even though the motorcycle's cool, it could use a little bit of, I guess, thought as far as what really does work. This is what my kids like to do, and I kind of like it too. Since there's a pistol, they make him hold on to the motorcycle, and then they take the end of the pistol, put it in that open stud right there, so that holds onto it. So there you go, the Vampire Hearse from 2012 is the Monster Fighters theme, set number 9464. So hey, give a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Make sure to check us out on Instagram. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to all our other videos, and you'll be awesome. Later.